I have finally got that down pat. Hey to all my book lovers and fellow book dragons. If you're new here, hi, my name is Meredith and welcome to my channel. If you can see from behind me, we have set up my bookshelf just a little bit. I don't have a lot of books yet. This will be mainly where I'm going to record so that you just have my pretty little bookshelf in the background. But I didn't want to record with my bookshelf because I was kind of embarrassed, I guess you could say, which I shouldn't be because we all live normal lives. But I guess because I'm just starting out, sorry, there's like a hair on me. It's like
getting in my way.
So I was a little embarrassed to begin with to show y'all my bookshelf, but I shouldn't be. I'm so proud of my bookshelf. I love my bookshelf, and the green is like my all-time favorite. So anyway, starting off as a small time YouTuber, I figured it'd be fun for y'all to go on this journey with me, for me to collect the books that I love and pretty sprayed edges and my favorite authors. And so I figured you could go on this journey with me as we add books to my bookshelf as time goes on. So I'm gonna start doing my videos in front of my bookshelf as long as everything goes good. I'll still do some stuff probably on my couch. I feel like that's like super chill and fun to do videos right there, and probably still some at the desk. I don't know if I'm going to use my fireplace as much. It's just easier to do videos in my room when my kids are everywhere in the house and trying to interrupt me. And so it took me forever to get my baby to take a nap so I could do this video, by the way. So she finally fell asleep and here we are. This is what we're doing. So anyway, long story short, I have a new background, so yay! All right, so let's get into the video. Today we are going to do part 2 of the series that I am reading right now. So we're going to talk about what I'm going to continue reading, what I am DNFing, and I think that's it. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I feel like in the first one there were 3 things that we talked about, but I can't remember what I'm continuing with, what I'm DNFing.
What else could there possibly be? What other third thing could I possibly have talked about?
So anyway, we're going to get right into it. So let's go. So the first series that we're going to talk about is the Esprithian Trilogy by Bree Greenwich and Parker Lennox. So I have read Riftborn. We're actually going to talk about Riftborn in my reading wrap up because I read it this month in May. And I am going to continue with this trilogy. I'm super excited to read Duskbound. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And then the third book doesn't come out until next year, but I am going to continue that trilogy. It's a romantasy. We're following our FMC. I do not remember her name, even though I just read this book. Do I even remember the premises of this book? What was this book about? Oh, it's like a military college. She has powers. She's not supposed to hide her powers though. Oh, okay. So she was part of, her family was in like, wasn't the revolution, but they were struggling. I'm so sorry. I don't even know. They were like trying to go against the government is all I can say. Her family lost the war and I'm pretty sure they were executed. And then they have to have a mark for being a Riftborn so that everyone knows that they tried to go against their government. So anyway, she ends up going to a military college. One of the commanders, which would be her enemy, saw that she has strong powers and that they could help with a bigger enemy against the kingdom, which it's so funny. So the book, I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm going to talk about it in my reading wrap up. But the book was just, I feel like there wasn't a lot discussed about her past, like with her family and what happened with them, with all the Riftborn people. I feel like we kind of just like, it was something that was stated and then that was it. And then she goes into this military college with all these people that hate her and then she just becomes friends with them. I mean, there's a couple of people that don't like her, and then the MMC, like I said, I'm not going to say too much, but the ending of the book was so good. And so I am going to continue with this trilogy because I also want to read The Ascended. And that is why I picked up Riftborn to begin with. So let's carry on. Next series. I'm currently in The Scorched Throne Duology by Sarah Hashem. I have read the first one, which was The Jasad Heir. I have to read The Jasad Crown. I do not want to reread this book, but I just want to hit myself because I should not have waited so long to pick up the Jasad Crown, which I actually have it right here. I have the Jasad Crown from the library. And do you see how thick? I didn't realize this book was so thick. How many pages? 600, over 600 pages. That's not even the end. Over 600 pages. So I'm not rereading the first one, but I have learned for myself and for the future that when I read duologies, I would like to read them one and then the other. I actually would like to do a video on duologies that I want to read, some that are already out and some that are actually coming out this year. So I may end up posting about that later on. I don't know if I'll do it at the end of this month or if I'll do it next month, but I think I'm going to do a video on that. We will be continuing with this series. It's, well, a duology, and it'll be quick and easy and pain-free. And hopefully I will love the ending as much as I love the first book. Our third series we're going to talk about is the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn. I have only read the first book in this series. And I know this is a popular series because it's a TV show on Netflix, but it is a Regency romance, and you're following this family through interconnected romances with each book. So it's a different sibling with each book. That's really all I know about the book. They're really super short, super easy. These are books that I would read for a palate cleanser after reading a heavy book or super emotional book. So that's really why I choose to read these books, and I just love Regency romance. So I will be continuing on with this series. Another series that I'm reading is called the Wicked Lovely series by Melissa Marr. This is a YA fae romantasy. I actually read the first book in this series when I was in high school. And so as an adult, when I started reading again, this book when I was young really hit hard. I absolutely loved the story. And so I was like, well, what if I go back and reread it and just see if I like it and if it's as good as I remember it being? Obviously, it's YA, and I would have been young when I read it. It definitely doesn't hit as hard as it did when you're a young teenager and you think just the world about romance and love, and especially when you've never had it. And so it was super fun read back then. It was definitely still a fun read now. I still have 2 books to read. I am going to continue this series, but that's not on the top of my reading list. I don't know when I will continue this series. And who knows, I may end up deciding later on not even to finish it. But as of right now, I do want to finish this series and finish these character stories. I hear my daughter. My next series I'm going to talk about, I do not know if this is what the series is called, but it's a Hades and Persephone series. The first book's called A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I read the first 2 books. I read A Touch of Darkness and A Game of Fate. So I didn't realize when I went into this series that you would read the first book in Persephone's point of view, and then the second book would be in Hades' point of view. So I literally read the first book and the second book. I literally read the same story, just in different point of views. You could definitely just read whichever point of view you want to read in and just read that series and like cut out half of the series. It was a fun read. It was not anything to...
It's like, oh my goodness, you need to read this book.
It was not 5-star. I think I rated both books 3 stars, I think. I do not know if I'm going to continue this series. Maybe I'll pick it back up one day. As of right now, I have no interest in reading the series, and I'm not going to continue it right now. But I don't want to definitely DNF because I don't know if maybe one day I'll go back and I'll try to reread and just read with one point of view. I just don't want to read both points of views of the same story. I think there's 6 books, so it could technically be a trilogy, if I'm correct. I'm not 100%. But right now, I'm not going to continue this series. The next series that we're going to talk about is the Crowns of Nyaxia series by Carissa Broadbent. I love this series. It's a vampire romance. I have read the first 2 books. And in this series, they are interconnected duologies. So 2 books are about 2 FMC and MMC, and then the next book, 2 books will be about a different FMC and MMC and so forth. So I am going to continue this series. I do not know exactly when I'm going to continue this series. Possibly sooner than later, maybe sometime this year. Definitely it's on top of the list to read. So I guess that's it. My mind went blank. So yeah. Next series. The next series we're going to talk about is called The Kingmaker's Chronicles, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Amanda Bouchet. I'm so sorry. I read the first 2 books, rated them 3 stars. It's been a long time since I've read these books, so I do not remember exactly what these books are about. I think she's like a lost queen or something maybe, and she's in hiding. I could be totally wrong, but I know she ends up like marrying a king. I started the 3rd book and I did not finish it. I'd say it was a soft DNF because I had technically wanted to go back to the book and finish it, but I just never did. And so now I just have no desire to continue with this series. It's been so long, I don't think I'm going to continue it. Not that it was an awful series, it just wasn't very memorable, and I just don't care to pick it back up or even reread or start it over. So that will be one of the series that I'll DNF. My next series that we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the Raven Hood Trilogy by Kate Stewart. So I read the first book, Flock. I absolutely hated this book. I went into this not knowing what I was getting into. The ending was just so dumb. Like nothing ever made sense. At the time, I did not know what a reverse harem was, which...
Forgive me of my innocence.
So I went into this like completely off guard for what I was going to read. And this was not for me. I hated the spice. I hated the FMC. She was so obnoxious and so annoying. The MMCs were all just dumb, and the whole premises of this book was so idiotic. I don't even know why I finished it. To rate it 1 star, pretty much. And then I went and I was like, well, I'm not going to continue, but I really want to know, like, what is this even supposed to mean? And so then I ended up on a deep dive of figuring out what book 2 was about, what book 3 was about, and I'm like, I'm so glad that I did not finish it. So I obviously will not be continuing with this series, this trilogy, and I'm so sorry, but no, not for me. And now we're going to talk about the Savage Land series by Stacey Marie Brown. This was on a TBR, and then I had a friend recommend this series to me, and she's like, you got to read it. It's so great. And I read the first book. I listened to it on audio, and I don't even know. Words cannot describe how disappointed I was in this book. This book had so much potential. The FMC, oh my goodness, she was so lustful. Like the FMC's literally, and then the way that she gets thrown into prison is like so stupid. She's so arrogant and obnoxious. And I was so upset because this book had so much potential, but no, I absolutely hated it. And maybe it's supposed to get better because it is like a 7-book series or something, and this is only the first book. But it was insta lust. The MMC that she was interested in, there was no chemistry. Nothing happens for her to just want to jump his bones. I've never in my life with the FMC been so cringed out. I will not continue this series. The next series I want to talk about is the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. I am almost done with the series with all the books that are out. I have not read Saving 10. I think that's what it's called. Saving 10. No, I don't know what it's called, but I have not read the last book in the series yet that has came out. I'm kind of wanting to wait until either we have a date announced of because they're in this series, contemporary romance, and each book follows, it's a friends group, and each book follows their love story. And so the first two go with two characters, the second two go with two characters, then you have one book that has two characters, and then it switches over to two other characters. But it makes sense when you read the books together how they all fall together. The author is supposed to be finishing up Lizzie and Huey's story, which is the last book she wrote. And so I'm kind of wanting to wait until then, or at least closer to knowing when she's going to release that book so that I can read them closer together, because it's a releasing 10. Is that what it's called? Maybe that's what it's called. Because it's a lot. It's a really big book, and it's very emotional from what I've been told. And the first two books, Binding and Keeping 13, they were very emotional for me for my own personal reasons. And then you have Saving and Redeeming 6, is that it? And Taming 7, and then Releasing 10. I think that's what it is. Their numbers on the boys' jerseys, their jersey numbers. I am going to continue this series. That's all that really matters. And the last series I want to talk about is the Addicted series by Krista and Becky Ritchie. I am going to continue this series. I've only read the first book. I want to read this series with the Calloway sisters, so I'm reading them in the order so that they all make sense in both of those series together. So I know a lot of people don't like the first book in the Addicted series, and it was okay. I did not hate the book. I ate it up, actually. I read it really fast, and I am interested to see, because I think there's like 3 or 4 more books just for that FMC and MMC story. These are a contemporary romance, but obviously they have heavy topics. So I would read my trigger warnings before going into this series. I'm also currently in one more series, which will total us to 23 series that I'm reading right now. But I'm not going to talk about that series right now, because we're actually going to talk about that book in my reading wrap up at the end of the month. So that is it for today. I'm super proud of myself for not messing up a lot. And if I did mess up, then it was kind of funny. So I look forward to being with y'all again in my next video. If you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing y'all in my next one. I love you guys. Bye. I don't know. I have a horrible brain fog. Brain fog. A horrible brain fog. Fog. I have horrible brain fog. Oh, I said it again. I have horrible brain fog. Oh my goodness. I need to take my vitamins. That's what I need to do. All right. Bye.